So I thank you for coming out to my training presentation. It's called Answering Without Speaking. The instructor, Leonard and what we're going to be speaking about is about body language. The objective, as you see on your agenda, is really speaking more about receiving instructions from a superior. A lot of research that I've done, you can find, how leaders can really relate to employees. But communication is a two-way street. And so in a lot of ways, how does an employee should receive instructions from this superior? It's not rocket science, as you know, but it is something that we can really always critique just to make the integrity of the communication part flow well. As you already know, it takes it takes a teamwork to make the dream work. So there's unity. So I'm glad that you already came out. You already got your phone silenced. We're going to open up. I'm going to give you an introduction first, actually. One of the greatest gifts you can give is your undivided attention. That was spoken by your very own Oprah Winfrey. This training session focuses on communication through the body language between the supervisor and employee. The purpose of the presentation is to provide employees the proper use of body language or receiving instructions from a superior. So let's do the first icebreaker. I need everybody to get up, and what we're going to do is you're going to get up, you're going to state your name, but after you state your name, display an emotion, and we'll go in sequence. And the next person, they'll guess. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So let's do that. So everybody just rise up. All right, and Tracy, we can start with you.
Yes, you can. My name is Tracy Jones, and I am ecstatic to be here.
Awesome. Next.
My name is Demetrius Brown, and I just am here.
Perfect. Now, who can guess what type of emotion she was just displaying?
Anger.
No, I think she was displaying a very reserved. Her emotions were reserved.
Reserved?
Mm-hmm.
You say anger?
No, she wasn't angry. It was reserved.
My name is Callie Jones, and I am happy to be here.
My name is Antoinette Jones. Nice to meet everyone.
Tora?
My name is Katrina Williams, and I'm very excited to be here.
Okay. So we just asked, what was the emotion that Demetrius was displaying? What was the emotion that you were displaying?
Sarcastic.
You were being sarcastic. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Not angry.
Now Tracy, she already mentioned hers. She said she was ecstatic. What about Tony? What was her emotion that she was displaying?
Kind of in pain.
Surprised. No, it wasn't no
to be
in
here.
pain. It was for
Why am I here?
let me throw a monkey in the wrench. Let me just mess with him.
So you think she was being difficult?
Yes.
Okay. What was your emotion that you
You know what
displayed?
I was really a little reserved and shy at the same time.
Okay. So then that's what I got. Okay, so you said reserved and shy. What about Katora?
Katora said she was excited, but she didn't look excited. She looked more nervous than she looked at
You was nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the emotion that you displayed? Nervous.
She was nervous.
All right. Now that we got the icebreaker out the way, I wanted to start to do something, but I only got so many. But I said it was going to be worth it, guys, as well, so we'll save it for the next one. So the training outline that's in front of you is, things about body language. So that opens us up to understanding body language. That body language is probably the most common way of communicating with one another as a human race, period. Even before language, we would probably go by, body language, and then we developed the word system and language through different cultures, as you know. But the first and foremost, before you say anything, You typically can know where somebody is coming from or how they're feeling through body language. So, first point, we're going to identify what is body language.
You guys can sit down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody have a seat. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I was gonna ask that.
So, body language, as a definition, is a kind of nonverbal communication where thoughts, intentions, or feelings are expressed by physical behaviors such as facial expressions, body postures, gestures, eye movement, touch, and use of space. And study shows that 55% of communication is actually through your body language. The remaining 45% is geared towards tone of voice and delivery of speech. What's so fascinating about it is that they call it the 7% rule, which in a sense is almost a myth. But what study has shown is that only 7% really comes from the words that come out your mouth. Hold on for a second. I have questions at the end of the presentation. Questions and comments.
Yeah, I just want to make a statement.
Okay, just give you 1 second.
Go ahead.
So we will see that even when you're listening to something or somebody, you're speaking to them, you're more engaged into how that person is actually displaying their body language, like what I'm doing right now. My shoulders is hunched up, my hands is in my pocket. What display do you see that I'm showing to you? Any guesses?
You're really relaxed.
You think I'm relaxed?
You don't look relaxed to me.
Yeah, you don't.
Sort of.
How do I look to you?
You look uptight.
Tense, uptight?
Your hands are in your pocket, so you look closed.
Yeah. Like I don't want to be open?
Right.
Okay. That's good, yes. I think I'm going to give you a gift for that.
I'm in psychology and I took sociology.
You cheated.
So you will win a gift card for Google Play. And that's one of the things to make you relax. And it's easy when you do see that. It helps you engage into that person because you know what that person is already dealing with. So it prepares yourself. Okay, so then some of the focus points that we look at is hand gestures and body postures. A lot of times we speak with our hands, as you see me right now. Exactly. So then our action speaks louder than words. It's actually a true statement. And so we'll come in and we'll do all this type of stuff and we'll speak. And my thing was, why do we do that? I didn't have so much of a study for that one, but I know it comes from a sense of a natural thing that we just end up doing. It's like almost an impulse. Even to our body postures when you're talking to somebody, and if you're walking to somebody, that person is just kind of slouched, or that person is very confident. In this same case and study, not case study, but this presentation, when you're talking to your boss, how is your boss speaking? Is your boss speaking like this? Is your boss speaking like this? And then how should we receive it? Because let's be honest, communication is a two-way street, and every human being deserves a sense of respect to one another. But is it given? And even though that if it's not given the same way, the way that that person has a role, we also as employees have a role as well to receive it. Because the first and main course thing is to really get the message across. So if you have a type of body posture as well, though, and you have a boss that's, have a poor posture, how do you perceive your boss? If he always just like this, or she's always just like this, do you perceive her as actually being a boss? Would you treat her as a boss? Give me 1 second for the questions. So, at times we speak more through our bodies than what we can explain through our words. And our body postures can say a lot about us. Poor posture reflects poor self-image and negative feelings. Good posture reflects confidence and positive feelings. I'm sure you have talked to or have leaders or supervisors who have, great postures. If you haven't recognized it or not, usually when somebody has a great posture about themselves, their delivery and their content of their words, it's even greater. So, if somebody has a poor posture, you could probably sense a sense of timidity about them, where it's like you almost waiting to see what that person's talking about, or you're trying to, just be patient with that person. what I find at times though, with talking and having the experience that I have, some people really do, it's a big reflection of some people in as far as how they view you. Especially when you are in a leadership position. If people are looking at you and you're just kind of timid, sometimes you might not get that same type of respect that you're looking for. But if some people are looking at you, and sometimes you can be a little overzealous, where just your presence alone, like a military presence, a militant presence, and they have a stance where it's just confident, but everybody seems to be in an intention, in an approach. It's a sense of authority, and your body language is saying, "I have authority. Respect my authority." So, what do leaders look into their employees? That is the one key thing I want to get to. Defensive body language can put leaders in an uncomfortable position. Defensive body language displays distrust, inattentive, like there's a problem. It devalues the integrity of communication between leaders and employees. Now, so, the question is how you respond. There are quite a bit of different body positions that we naturally may do when we hear or say see somebody that we naturally don't probably like. For instance, you just seen me go this way, and this is folding of the arms. What is it saying? Any guesses? What is it saying?
Most of the time, when you're doing it, something defensive. That's how people normally view you before you are something defensive.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
I'm gonna say different because I took this in a sales class. Don't necessarily mean that's true.
That is
It all
actually right.
depends on what because some people can fold their hands like this and they're nervous. And in our class, it was a lady sitting on a bench, the bus stop bench, and it was like, what would it be? A man came and sat beside her. Was she defensive because he sat beside her and there wasn't there, or did she want him to say something to her and just start speaking to her to engage in a conversation? So you really don't know.
Right, which is good, because sometimes it's almost hard to look at that. It does come in a sense of defense, and it can come in as in, it depends on how that person is positioned themselves. In a salesperson, you can have a position where they got their arms folded, but they're smiling. It may say a sense of confidence. It may say a sense of, I'm ready. But then your body says a lot. If you do see a person that you may not like, or you receive words that you don't want to hear, you may come across this way. And then you may have a certain stance to you. You will have a certain look to you. You may have a certain distance to you. There's some things that you might do just like this, and it might look like, okay, I'm ready to receive whatever you're going to give to me, but I'm trying to prepare myself. It's still a sense of defense, because maybe it's a sense of vulnerability that you don't want to, you want to prepare yourself for and not get hit with a certain blow. This is why it says arms in akimbo hands position on the waist. Sometimes this may position a sense of power. Okay, I'm ready for you. Get on.
That's me. That's
Give me a
me.
second. Standing at an angle. A lot of these things that we see, that when we see people do, if you really pay attention to how you're talking, you can see just how that person may react. And they may come like, okay, I'm prepared for this. It may be something that you said that they don't like, but they're not saying it right then and there in the first place. So, positive body positions may indicate a better form of engagement. All the time you might not believe or that you're displaying a sense of defense like this. And sometimes when I look at, what reminds me about this here is that I'm having my arms folded up, covering my heart. I'm covering my chest. That's one of the probably most vulnerable things that a human being can really deal with, is taking stuff straight to the heart. Because it's a sincere emotional thing where words can really attack and where words can actually shape what your life could be or how your attitude can be. And so if you're coming in this way, then it's like, I need to, protect and prepare myself. But so you may have that type of personnel or supervisor who is very hard, who is, maybe militant or maybe very sarcastic. You may not like the character of this person, but you have to respect, if you choose to, I should say, respect his or her position. So then when they're talking to you, It's like, I don't really want to hear this, but I have to hear this, so okay, here we go. I have a model myself I didn't put on here, but I say nobody can control you but you. So do not allow yourself to control. Don't give control to the other person.
Right.
And it's because we would definitely see when somebody else has control about these positions. So we're going to get to the scenario. So the scenario that I put together, I'm going to have my volunteer, which is Katora. I need you to come on. You can do it. I told you it's going to be a treat. And what we're going to do, I think I have this, it's game time, and the thing is we're going to play the supervisor in an employee role. I wonder if I should use this. You've never really worked at a job.
Yes.
And you seem so nervous. It's all good. Can I get just another volunteer there? Or do you want to do it?
Do it. It's fun.
You can do it. It's be fun.
It's be fun.
You good? You ready? Okay.
Relax.
I chose her because she's
It's
perfect.
okay.
And she's perfect though.
Yeah.
So the model and the volunteer, which she's a model, when we say I'm the volunteer, we're going to talk and without speaking. And this will display a scenario. And the thing is you'll be able to, like the icebreaker, you'll guess what happened in the scenario. So, are you ready? We gotta begin. And that's it. So, what, any guesses from what you saw, what was taking place?
You was telling her something to do, and she refused to do it because she was confused.
Okay.
But then you started putting authority out of anger to make her do it, and she rebelled back. So she's like, I'm not doing that.
And you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I got it.
And I promise everybody will get a gift to that. So you don't think I'm just being fake.
That's okay.
But
I
you
like
get
it.
the first one. Here you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey.
Woo, people love it.
Okay.
I like that.
For the sake of time. So, when we understand in wrapping up, our body language says a lot. We got able to get a whole conversation without even speaking any words based on our actions of what we were doing. So, okay. So when we look at this, one of the things I look at as an employee, and I've worked at a place where it's very tough, but definitely just want to be open to that person regardless of how that person is. It's just easier because one thing is that you have one main job. And so when the communication goes clear, you build up trust into that person. Okay, so lesson 2, which is, may I get your attention, please?
I like that. The presentation.
Okay, so giving your undivided attention. There we go. This part here is going to focus on what you just saw not too long ago, which is the facial expressions. Are in listening. Are you paying attention? Sometimes we can answer real quick and we'll know the answer right by the facial expressions. Are you displaying good eye contact? Are you leaning in with your good ear so you can actually hear what the person is saying? Are you displaying a good facial expression? I'm one that gets a lot of, what's wrong? Because of my facial expression. Importance of making eye contact is the most effective when both parties feel this intensity is appropriate for the situation, and this may differ from inverse extroverts. So we already understand that when you're making good eye contact, you know, you got that person's attention. A lot of times we can see a lot of stuff in that person when they're making good eye contact. You can tell they're nervous, if they're lying. When you're not making the good eye contact, it displays that you're not interested, signs of short patience, you need to defensive communication. When there's no eye contact, not always in every study, but in most cases, it might feel like you don't want to hear this. Sometimes some people say they may put their head down so they lean with the good ear, so you're not making good eye contact, but you're trying to take in and listen to what the person is saying. And then there's a rolling of the eyes. You see it? I don't want to hear this type of look, or I don't want to receive this. And when we look at this, it's a one simple golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated.
Amen.
And so, if you don't want to hear the stuff, and you don't realize that you're doing it, well, if somebody's doing it to you, what would it look like? So, and then there's facial reactions, which is the facial expressions with displaying all types of emotions and stuff. So, then your listening brings trust. One key thing that we already know that's written in the Bible is that, faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. We understand that when we're listening to something, that's really where communication comes forth. I can't just give you what we seen earlier about a mind game and then expect for her to know what I'm talking about. So we definitely, having words and listening to the structure is very key. The benefits to listening, this is from Margaret J. Wheatley. She's a book writer. And she said there are many benefits to this process of listening. The first is that good listeners are created as people feel listened to. Listening is a reciprocal process. We become more attentive to others if they have attended to us. Do unto others, do unto you. So, what type of feedback should you give to your leaders? You had a bad boss. Now, I was speaking about that before, and I can really relate to that. What if you do have a difficult leader? What if it's a person that don't want to hear anything you got to say? What if he just, or she just ignore every type of tactic, but it's your job to get the stuff done? What does it say about your character? Basically what I wanted to say. This communication is a two-way street, as we said. General leaders will understand that it is a two-way street. It takes a teamwork to make a dream work. They need you. Some leaders will deliver instructions based on who they're talking to. I find this that sometimes some people think that if you're speaking to something in a more defensive way, it's too mean. But at times, as even adults, it takes sometimes an authority to get somebody doing what they need to do. Sometimes some people don't need that. Some people just need talk to me regular and you'll get the job done. Leaders will deliver the content the way they will want to receive the instruction as well, which I would say is sometimes. So, scenario. Can I get another volunteer? Any volunteers? Okay. So in this scenario, the supervisor has instructions to share with you, yet I don't have the greatest reputation. I'm going to share with her in a manner that I'm known for. So how do you respond? And it's just like the last one. Guess, how. And we're not talking still. But just, no, actually we will talk. This time we will talk. But guess how her reaction is, and then we'll look at how it should be. Okay. How much time I have left?
7 minutes.
Okay. So, Mrs. Brown, I really need you to go and wipe down these tables. Last time I've gotten just about a couple complaints that these tables is not wiped down. I want them done by yesterday. So if they're not getting done, we're really going to have to sit down and talk. But I need this stuff done because in the next 10 minutes, we have another group meeting coming in. So you need to get that stuff done right now.
Okay. I will do it for you, but I really need you to give me respect if you want respect back.
That's got to be earned. So when you get this stuff done,
if you want me to respect you and do this, then you need to respect me because I'm grown, just like you're grown.
Well,
I don't come to you like that. Don't come to me like that.
Well, maybe I'll just get somebody else. Okay?
Be my guest.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Now,
That's good.
that was a good one.
That was a real good one.
What was her reactions?
She felt like you was being overbearing.
Overbearing.
She felt like she was disrespected.
Right.
Yes.
She felt like you did not. I felt like she would have done it,
Yeah.
but it was your delivery.
Approach.
It was my delivery.
Yeah.
What defensive positions did you see?
She crossed her arms first off when you got finished. She listened very well. And she was just like, my turn.
What else did you see? Did you notice
Her stance.
the step back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Her
draw the
stance.
distance.
Yeah.
Did
because-
you notice the facial expressions?
Yeah. I saw the
I saw the facial expression, but yep, I saw that too.
So the first and foremost response was like, okay, now it's my turn.
Right.
So who was the two people?
But can I say something real quick?
One
Right now?
second.
Just real quick.
1 second. So, and then I got two more. I told you everybody will get gifts, so thank you.
Restaurants.
Yes. So, in wrapping up, the key, what I find when you're talking to somebody that's starting, I picked that for a reason. For one, the job that I work at, my facilitator is very tough. Yes. But when you're engaging, when you're a part of a job and you start thinking about your family, when you start thinking about your career, when you start thinking about your kids, then certain things that you feel like I need to take probably should end up taking a back seat. If you know that you need this job, not to say that you cannot get a job, not to say you're not qualified or anything, but we already know that it's a process. And when you already started this process and you're going, you just want to keep going. So how can you protect yourself against somebody like this person that you had just displayed? Because in a lot of times, there's a lot of opportunity for you, but there's a lot of things that we're going to be up against as human beings. Let's be honest. There's people that's going to feel like they want to respect you. There's going to be people that feel like they want to walk over you. How do you protect yourself? So one quick guess, and then we'll be wrapping up here soon. What do you think she should have displayed to a person like that?
I already know, because I've been in this position and working in the office field with all multiple, bosses. The best thing you can always be is humble, because you always, as they say, nice, nasty. You be nicer. The more nicer you are to them, the more they get angry. You put in that anger they had back on them.
Yep.
And then the more you do it, eventually, they're going to see they can't get to you. They're going to start giving you the respect you earn.
Yep.
Yeah. And I should have been nicer and just said, okay, it's done, and I'll do a better job, and I'll make sure I'm up on it, and it'll be ready for the next person, and add a little extra to it. As they say, go above and beyond. It never hurts to really go above and beyond.
Now, what type of positive body language should she have displayed there?
She should have never crossed up.
Oh, she's been more,
Distance back.
There you go.
yeah,
Little open.
a little open so you can come
There you go.
And smile.
There you go.
Yeah. And smile.
There you go.
There you go.
And like I said, I got something for you.
Hey, what you got? Something good, I know. Walmart, woo.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, listening is always is the key to making sure that clear instructions is going through. Don't be afraid to ask leaders questions. Sometimes I find even with those tough ones, you don't even want to say nothing.
Yes.
But if communication needs to go forward, you need to hear it clearly, or it's going to come right back to you, and it's going to be worse than the first. Do not be defeated. And now, summary from those two is what we just went through. And now, I will allow time for questions or statements.
I was going to say that also I learned in the class that sometimes, even with the person crossing their hands, and you do this, a lot of times it also is a health benefit. Because when a person have lower back problems, their back is hurting, you can cross your hands, which will make you kind of fold a little over, and it'll help your back posture. So your back will stop hurting.
Okay.
And that's also a thing that they do.
Yeah. Anything else? You got to.
Yeah, I wanted to make a statement about body language. Have you noticed when a baby is born, he is speaking? If you notice when a baby is born, he's speaking. That's how you get to know your baby. And he get to know you. If you touch him, he get to know you from anybody else just by the touch. And you know his language, just how he stretch,
Mhm.
how he do, how he cry, how he, you get to know your baby.
Yep.
And you know he is not speaking. And that's how I learned my kids.
That's
I
how
had
it's very
6,
same too.
and that's how I learned. Every last one of them different. But I knew them. I knew who lied. I knew who didn't lie. I knew who did what. And that's why they thought that I had eyes in the back of my head. But I learned my kids by body language,
Right.
eye language, face expressions.
Right.
And I learned, and they learned me.
Yep.
Because I want them to learn me.
And I learned that because
I'm teaching as I go. So I don't have to say all these words, okay, in the first place. So if you cut down on a lot of talking and use your body language, you get more, reception. You can get more done. Because that's a lot of words you got to say and all that stuff. So I break down on a whole lot. Get to know me. I know you. Okay, now you already know what
because my face is gonna say a lot more than my words
exactly.
say. Yeah.
So when I look at you, you know what that look mean.
Right.
I don't even have to say I don't have to say nothing. And that comes from when they're little on up. And they say, oh, why you got them trained like that?
Right.
They know me, I know them.
Right.
That's all.
And then so I want to thank you for your participation. In front of you is an evaluation for the training class. If you can just, it's a simple yes or no.
Okay.
Definitely we just appreciate that. And that will wrap up our training session on body language.
I really enjoyed it.
I actually